Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. That's enough of that. But that song certainly relates to what I'm going to talk about today. Luke Scheckman, Team Exos, bringing you another 5-minute mindset piece. Resilience, grit, determination, just being tough. This is something that has been agreed upon. Some of the most important factors to living a happy life and to being successful. Being able to stick to something, being able to rise above adversity. Does this mean we should never quit anything? No, it does not mean that. There are times in your life where quitting is the right thing to do. And the word quit is very negative, and it's something I certainly have a hard time doing. But, can not quitting something hurt you? Yeah, it definitely can. It can in business, it can in relationships, it just can. Quitting has to be part of your repertoire, as awkward as that sounds. So, a couple things to acknowledge. Before you quit a situation, you sort of have to step outside yourself and analyze who you are and look at past experiences and, really gauge how you've reacted to resistance over the years. Sometimes this is hard, but, we probably all have a friend or family member who, every job they ever get, all of a sudden, this is happening and that is happening. And we've heard this, 4, 5, 6 times. And you're kind of like, well, did you ever think that maybe it's you? So if you need help with that, talk to family members, talk to friends, talk to people who you trust, and talk to people who are kind. Ask them openly, how do you see me I'm feeling this way. How do you see me in life when it comes to, dealing with, resistance, dealing with bad times, dealing with frustration, dealing with not getting what you want. And also, you depending on who you are, it's extremely important before you make any kind of big decision, really to kind of take a look at what's going on in your life at the moment. Like I said, different for everybody, and it would be great if we all came to these revelations and said, "Oh boy, I quit, I'm free." If you have 4 kids at home and you have a mortgage payment, you're probably not as free as you think you are after that. So, no one's telling you to sit and stew in a lifetime of frustration and sadness. But it probably, depending on who you are, where you are in life, what your responsibilities are, you got to take those into consideration as well. Okay, so that being done. So now we're kind of focusing on the actual problem. Isolate the issues. Isolate what is really upsetting you and study it. Be realistic with it. We're all emotional creatures. But, if you are, if you're doing work that you absolutely love, but you hate your boss, there's way you may not want to leave that. You may want to navigate a different direction. There's certain things that you have to look at and really be honest with. Okay, so, what's really bothering me? Are they fixable? Are they worth fixing? That kind of stuff. Then, you have to understand that there's never going to be a perfect decision or situation. I think it's I think a lot of us were probably told when we were younger, you can have anything you want as long as you work for it, and that kind of puts us in this mindset where if I work hard, life is going to be perfect. And no, that's not the way it goes. There's too many factors involved. Honestly, anybody who thinks they know what perfection is, I wouldn't trust that person anyway. But whatever is, it's never going to be 100%, and you can't expect to feel that way. It has to be the right decision for that day. And that's why you do all this stuff. Take a step back, you analyze. It has to be the right decision for the day. That being said, excuse me, think about your ideal situation. Think about what you would want. The best of everything. Oh my God, that job, that partner, that life. Yeah, know that it's probably never going to be there. Sorry. But think about it. And then look at your surroundings and look at what's going on and really, okay, so seeing what I'm seeing, will I ever get close to that ideal point? You know what I mean? So, the best, I think the best example of this would be in a relationship, even though, you can relate it to any kind of decision-making process. But yeah, we stay in relationships for ages longer than we should, and it is painful, and it is debilitating and unhealthy. And yeah, if you're in a relationship and you have your inclinations that it might not be the one for you, take a step back and look and say, is this person ever going to be able to provide anything that's close to what I want? And if the answer is no, you're out. Okay. Final thing is, because honestly, quitting anything, it's hard. It's very, very hard, and it's hard for everybody. But once you've made the decision, once you've gone down this criteria of the things I've talked about, once you've made that decision, own it. Be confident with it. Do not look back. It's hard sometimes. Life gets hard, and in that last job or something, it might have had some good elements to it. And it's hard not to look back and say, oh man, well, no, because you've already done the other steps. You've already taken what your ideal is and said, this past situation does not cut the mustard, and it never will. So, once you made the decision, own it and be confident with it and move on. And never second guess. Just keep going. Luke Sheckman, Team Exos.